Good evening. On to the 12 Man Podcast live. We're back. Where the hell have we been? You got me, Steve Jackson. I'm your host for the evening. You got Mr. John Donovan with me. Evening, JD.
Now then, are you all right? It's good to be back with you on the podcast. I know I came to see you briefly in the hospital.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's great that you're home and we can restart this.
Thank
Now
you.
it's happened, so it should be only about a 20-minute program.
Yeah, it should be a quick chat, this, shouldn't it? Yeah, we'll go through why we've been in hiatus, I suppose. We'll go through all that. Also, we've got Mr. Liam McCarthy with us as well. Evening, Liam. You all right?
You all right? Great to see you back in the hot seat.
Thank you very much. It's great to be back, mate. It's great to be back. You all right?
Yeah, all good.
Good. Yeah, so we're live on Facebook. We'll be on YouTube and all the popular platforms that we're usually on. Yeah, we're going to talk. We've got a lot of things to talk about. So, should we start with where we've been? I think that's probably the best place to start.
Go on then.
I'll take it. So basically, 4 months ago, obviously I left these boys. Did the podcast after, was it Swansea? Wasn't it?
Yeah. The season was underway. Yes, it could have been Swansea.
Yeah. So we did the game after. It was after Swansea. Unfortunately, I was involved in a pretty horrific car accident. Pretty lucky to be here. Not gonna lie. Like, people can exaggerate and say, "Oh, it could have killed me." All this. This did nearly kill me. I've had a lot of work done to me. A lot of rehab. A lot of physio. Still got a lot of physio to go, but I'm here. I'm home. It took me 4 months to get home, but I'm home. And I'm just counting down the days where I can get back to the Riverside. When I'm a little bit stronger, I'll be back. I'll be back at the Riverside, no problem at all. But yeah, that's where we've been the last 4 months. These boys have been still doing what they do, running up and down the country. I say it's backing the boys wherever it may be, which has been quite a delight this season. I've missed a corker of a season so far. I've gone through some awful times watching the Borough, as you lads have, but this season's been quite good. So, but yeah, let's get stuck into that. I'm not talking about me. We don't want to talk about me all night. JD, I'll start with you. Obviously, you went through this last season, not going to games, home and away. So obviously, you're enjoying this now. What's it been like following the boys this season, home and away? Obviously, we're 18 games into the season. Played, won 9, drawn 6, lost 3. Second in the league, 10 points behind Coventry. But I never expected to be second. How have you found it so far?
Yeah, I'm the same as you. It's a surprise to find us up where we are. But before I start, can I just say, I mean, it's great. It's great to see you, sort of back to doing what we all love. We love talking about the Borough. I mean, they give us so many highs. They take us from from ecstasy to the depths of despair with performances and results.
Yeah.
But you've gone through the depth of despair because of injuries, and I can't contemplate sort of what it must have taken from you to get through it, because I had a knee injury, and I was confined to home, but I was confined to home, and I had all my home comforts, and that was okay. It made it a lot more bearable. I went to see you. You were stuck in that room, been there 4 months. It must have been absolute torture. But fair play to you for sticking at it, getting out there, and it's great. It's great to talk about the Borough again with you. I mean, it's what we love. Like I said earlier, it's what gives us our highs and lows. So yeah, it's great to see you. So, Steve, we did say that we wouldn't do the podcast without you, and I don't think we expected it to be as long, but that was because we probably didn't really understand the extent of your injuries. But anyway, we're back, you're back, and it's fantastic. So let me say about this season then. it's been eventful, bloody hell. We've had great performances, we've had poor performances, on the road, Watford, Portsmouth. But it's been an up and down season. And obviously we had the change of manager, which nobody expected. I mean, I think all Borough fans were sucked into the lines that Rob Edwards fed us. We thought he was genuine. We thought he was going to stick by his word and help return the club to the Premier League. It transpired that his heart was elsewhere, or his wallet was elsewhere, whichever. Let's be honest. But yeah, for the season, sitting second. Yes, we're a fair way behind Coventry, but we've had a decent start, and then we put in a few indifferent performances, but we still find ourselves in second place. Other strong contenders, Bookie's favourites at the start of the season, they're struggling also. So I'm pleased that we're 18 games in, we're second, we're 10 points behind Coventry. If we don't make up that gap, hey, I'll take second position all day long. I'll take top six, and fight in the playoffs. But considering that a lot of Borough fans envisaged a struggle and even a flirt with relegation, that some fans had us on social media were saying at the start of the season. It's been good, and now we've got the new man in. A total change around with regards. Rob Edwards knew the Championship well. He was experienced. I mean, we've got Kim Helberg come in, totally new to English football, but with a great record of success behind him. So, like we always do, we just get behind our club, and you've got to hope that Kim takes us to where Rob Edwards said he was going to, and lied through his back teeth. So yeah, it's been a good season for me so far.
Yeah, I mean, I'll delve further into the managerial change in a couple of minutes. So keep your thoughts on that one, because I imagine there's been some really strong thoughts about that one. Obviously, I had some strong opinions about it when I was laid up. Some of the stuff I can't say on here, but is what it is. But Liam, you do exactly the same as what John does. You travel the length and breadth of this country. Supporting the boys, taking fans here, there, and everywhere. What have you made of this season so far? And I say, I'm with John. I take where we are right now. I think we've had an excellent start of the season.
Yeah, I think before the season started, you would have took second all day long at this point of season. Yeah. I think the shock of how well we started, probably there's been a few games where the performances haven't been good. It's been quite a bit frustrating, hasn't it? Because we know what we can do. And looking at the season so far, like John said about some of the favourites for the league aren't doing anything at the moment. It just shows it's wide open again this season. And when we're playing teams that we know we can do better than them, it can be a bit frustrating. But on the whole, it's been fantastic. I mean, I'd like to have maybe seen another 1 or 2 wins. They always like to say 2 points a game, and I think we're averaging about 1.8, just a little bit below. And some of these teams that you would expect to be up there are slowly getting into the groove a little bit. Birmingham are starting to pick up a little bit. Southampton, since the manager's gone, they're starting to pick up again. So yeah, we've just got to keep it going. But it's been enjoyable on the whole. I mean, even at Watford, at the end of that match, we got beat 3-0, 2-0 down. You were like, how has this happened? They had 2 chances, and then they scored a wonder goal for the third. We weren't that bad, for a 3-0. When it was 2-0, we weren't that bad at that point. But at the end of the match, like bang on the end of the match, we found out that I think Oxford had equalised, which meant we stayed second, and the atmosphere was just fantastic after that. You would never have guessed we'd been beat 3-0. We just have to keep that going, keep the atmosphere going, and see how it goes. But it's been great so far. Yeah, like John said, there's been some bad performances, but on the whole, it's been really good season so far.
Well, that's it, isn't it? Because I mean, I've still managed to watch the boys. I've still managed to watch all the games, which has been really good. And the 3 defeats we've had, obviously, Coventry, Watford, and Portsmouth. There's only Coventry where even Coventry, I thought we were banging the game for 80 odd minutes. I thought we were brilliant. So you can see it's still say with them 3 defeats, we were in the game the whole time. We haven't deserved really to lose as much as we have. I say Coventry, you go, yeah, fair enough. The league leaders, they took the chances. It's exactly what they do. They put the ball in the back of the net. Is that the bit that we're just missing? We're just missing the clinical touch in the vital part of the pitch.
I think I'm probably going to split opinion here, but I was a big fan of Finn Azaz. And I think we're missing Finn Azaz. I think we're missing that number 10 that links the midfield to the attack. And I think Tommy Conway's been struggling. And I think a lot of it's down to, he's getting a lot of chances, but Finn Azaz just had that knack of just putting the ball in the exact right place. He didn't, all the striker had to do was just take a touch and place it or head it in, and it was just put on a plate for him. For me, he was the best number 10 in the league last year. And I can't understand. Well, I can in a way understand why some fans didn't take to him, but I think we're massively missing that number 10. I don't think Naipan's the number 10 that some fans thought he would be. I think he's more like a Hackney type player. So in January, that'd be my thing in January. Go and get a number 10, someone who can link the midfield to the attack, and I think we'll be good to go.
What's your opinion on that one, JD? I'll bring you in on that one.
Yeah, I was a big fan of Finn Azaz because not. I know that he didn't take games by the scruff of the neck and was our star man regularly, consistently. But his stats, it speak for themselves. The number of goals he got, the number of assists he added to our team. So yeah, I mean, I can see Liam's point of view where we've missed him in a way. I'm hoping that if Riley McGree gets back to full fitness, because obviously he hasn't had a full 90 minutes at the moment, but I'm hoping that Riley McGree can improve our creativity when he gets to full match fitness and he's doing 90 minutes most weeks. Obviously the final third is where we are struggling. I think everybody can see that. I mean, our top scorer, Morgan Whittaker, with 5 goals. But I'm just hoping now that we've got a new coach who can maybe look at things slightly differently and allow inject rather a bit more creativity from the players at our disposal up until and including the January window. If we get anybody in that number 10 position or wide players, putting more dangerous crosses into the box, into the right areas. We're in December now, so we've got 4 weeks until the window opens, and we'll see what that brings us. But second place, quite happy. It's a long old season, but I'd rather be in second place than 8th or 9th. I mean, that's quite obvious. But we're okay. We're in a steady position.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you. It has been obvious where at our first one of the night. It is obvious where we are lacking. It is the goals. Obviously, 24 goals in 18 games. I think people will say, well, we're still up there, with other teams in the league. I mean, Coventry are obviously the top scorers. They've got 50 goals in 18 games, which is absolutely ridiculous for this time of the season. They're gonna, if they keep going, they're gonna set records left, right, and centre the way they are. But they've got so much attacking prowess; it's scary, and they're leading the league for a reason. But the games I've watched, the amount of chances we've missed, that's been the key. I know we were talking about being clinical, but it's scary how many chances we're missing. Like the Portsmouth game, we missed 2 or 3 chances. It was a bad day. We weren't quite at the races. Say Watford just hit us, on the counter a couple of times and nearly knocked the wind out of us. But there's been games where we've just nicked it 1-0, 2-1, where we could have just scored. We could have scored 3, 4, 5. I mean, the weekend, once we got to grips with Derby, we should have put 3 or 4 past them. There's a couple of chances we missed from them as well. So it's there. There's something there. And what you said about Nipan as well, I completely agree with that as well, to be quite honest. I know a second one. He doesn't link up the midfield with the attack. He links the whole pitch, if you get what I'm saying. He's that one player. He's happy to drop back into midfield to pick that ball up, to take it forward, to link up with the forwards. Whereas a number 10, obviously they wait for the midfield to do that work, to bring the ball to them, and then they just bring the final pass. But I say, Riley McGree, get him fit. I mean, come on, Riley. If I can be fit, you can be fit. So, stop messing about now. You've already got a few games in you. Hopefully, his bad luck's out of, is gone. He's had a lot of bad luck, Andy. So, fingers crossed he's got back up to speed and we can get some more minutes out of him. So, but yeah, it's been a good start of the season. It's been really good. It's been really eventful to watch. It's not done my blood pressure any good, especially when they come and do my observations at 9 o'clock, especially midweek games, and my blood pressure's going through the roof. And they think, what are you watching? And they're looking like, fair enough. Yeah, it's been eventful. It's been fun. I say a few late winners. I mean, that equaliser Luke Ayling scored at Leicester. I screamed the wall down. And they all came in going, "You all right?" And I was like, "Yeah, fine, absolutely fine." Yeah. But right, let's touch on the touchy subject before we start talking about the weekend's game. Rob Edwards. So Rob Edwards put a lot of spiel out about linking the fans back together, linking the club together. He was phrased "stronger together," which I'm hoping is being ripped down from the Riverside completely now. He obviously, the first sign of his daughter telling him that Wolves were interested, he was gone. The human side says, yeah, fair enough. He's a Telford boy. He's from that neck of the woods. He's a Wolves lad, represented Wolves for 10 years, been a coach there, has been a temporary first team coach manager. But I'll start with you, Liam. It's the way he did it. There's a way to do stuff. Fair enough if he wants to go, because that's his dream job. A bit like what Mogga did when he came to Middlesbrough. It's his dream job. He always says that. But there's a way to do it, and I feel, and you can see from the way that Adi Vivash has been talking, Kieran Scott referring to him as the previous manager as well in his interview. There's been a very horrible taste left by Rob Edwards leaving the club.
Yeah, I think his patter is part of him. That's how he gets people on board, and how I think that did play a part in our good start to the season. Getting everyone together, and he's obviously got the patter. And I just think I've seen comments when he's gone to Wolves, and they're all falling for it. And it's like, I mean, we don't know what's going on behind closed doors. We don't know if there was any dodginess going on. There was reports Middlesbrough were going to report Wolves to the Premier League. We don't know what's gone on. He could have been all innocent in terms of not being contacted before. I don't personally think that. I think he was talking to one before. But we will never know, I suppose. But I just think, yeah, like you say, the way he's gone about it, it's just been so sly. He's saying the same things to the Wolves fans now, and they're all falling for it. And the one thing that annoyed me was when he released the statement to the Borough fans, and he said, "I wouldn't have left for any other club." And as soon as I read that line, I thought, you're talking out your backside, because are you telling me if he was at Middlesbrough and Man United came, Liverpool, Newcastle, maybe even Sunderland, Brighton. You could go down a list of them Premier League clubs he would have gone to. Do you know what I mean? And he's just discrediting himself. And if he does something similar to Wolves, or he doesn't make it at Wolves, like if he doesn't keep them up, it's going to wreck his reputation. And he's took a massive gamble doing what he's doing. But on the flip side of it, I think we can use that for our team, for what he's done to us. We can use that, for the fans, for the atmosphere, the players behind the scene. I'm sure with AD still there, he'll be using that. It'll be brought up probably in the odd team talk. If they're losing at half-time or something, come on, let's go show him, stuff like that. So it might turn around to benefit us more than if he'd have stayed. We don't know. Do you know what I mean? But he took a gamble, and I personally don't think it'll pay off for him. I think they'll get relegated, and I don't think they'll keep him on next season. I think he's just going to be a scapegoat just to cover the backside till they get relegated, and then they'll get someone else in, and then he'll be knocking on people's doors again, wanting to come back in, and we'll see who takes him on then.
Yeah, because it's not the first time he's done this. They say he did this when he was at Forest Green. Yeah. They say he's got previous about this, but what you were saying there about the Wolves fans obviously buying into what he's saying as well. Obviously, while it's my second day home, I flicked on the Sky Sports News. Obviously, all the press conferences and stuff for the midweek Premier League games are all popping out and all going everywhere. And it showed about 10 seconds of him speaking before I switched over.
Yeah.
To his in his press conference, and he's straight away. He was like, you can see the how we want to play and how we want to do stuff, and the effort we're putting in and this and that. And I just thought, if you could put all the stuff from the Riverside's press board behind them, all the sponsors we've got, it's exactly the same. It's exactly the same. I just thought you absolutely you're just recycling the same bollocks, to be quite honest. And unfortunately, they're believing it, and I fully agree with you. I do think they're going to use him as a scapegoat, because they thought they could bring him in after a bit of a new manager bounce, get a couple of wins, catch up to the pack, and then we'll get them onto the pack, and then obviously you don't know what's going to happen after that. But to lose the games they have pretty poorly as well. You saw the highlights on Sunday for the Villa game, and they just, apart from the offside goal, didn't really do anything. You can do all this, yeah, but we're in the faces and we're all this. It's not going to win you points in the Premier League. It never will. So, yeah, I can't see him lasting at Wolves anyway. So,
yeah.
But JJ, what's your opinion on, as he's been referred to, the snake? To be polite, I can't say other words that people said.
Yeah, I mean, I was one of probably many Borough fans who was probably taken in by all that football. Sorry, that rubbish that he spouted, and I just thought it was a terrible career move for him, because Wolves aren't going to stay up. I mean, even a triangle's got more points. They're not going to stay up, and yeah, come next year when they're in the Championship, and they'll probably think they're going to bounce straight back up. But there's a lot of teams who find the Championship a struggle, especially when the purse strings are tightened at their clubs. So yeah, it's done, it's dusted, it's over with, and we've got a brand new start now. So I just hope that with Tim Hellberg, we can move on and improve as a team. And one thing that we did get from his departure was a fantastic togetherness in the crowd, especially at the Birmingham game. Everybody come together. The atmosphere was brilliant. That was a tough game that we ground out. And again, Saturday gone against Derby. That was a tough game. After losing a goal so early, we had to really sort of knuckle down and try and sort of get something from that game, especially with results going favourably the night before, and on the day, the early kickoff. So yeah, it was an important win on Saturday against Derby, and I thought, just like Birmingham, the crowd were together, and I hope that's something that the departure of Rob Edwards has achieved.
Yeah, I completely agree. Yeah, obviously I can't comment on the atmospheres and stuff. What I heard when I was watching him, it just sounded absolutely fantastic. The Birmingham game and the Derby game as well. Obviously, you had the tifo from the Red Faction, which was well done. They say it looked really good when they brought that down. So, fair play to them. I would usually ask what you both think about the new manager, but I'll give you whatever you want if you can tell me if you actually heard of him before we actually got him, because I hadn't. As soon as the name came up, I was like, I'm struggling here. But
the thing is, I was not impressed, or shall we say, excited by the names that were touted about. Gary O'Neill, Brendan Rodgers, Stephen Gerrard. Yeah, that none of them really excited me. Yes, they've got experience in English football, but this guy, his track record at the clubs he's coached in Sweden is very good, and it's a step into the unknown. It was a bold move by Gibbo, and you take a chance, don't you? You take a chance. It's interesting. It's exciting. It's going into an area that you don't know where we're going to go with this manager. There's been so many managers who've been unheard of, who've come into English football and succeeded, but there's been as many who've come into English football and have failed. So it's a hell of a gamble. But I suppose the appointment of any manager is. So, but it excites me. It excites me because he really looks like a scholar of the game. It looks like it's his life. He studies it. I mean, from the age of 23, he was in coaching. That just it's like his vocation. He hasn't gone from footballer to manager. He's just gone straight into coaching, and it looks like it means everything to him. It's his life, which is great. He'll leave. I would imagine he'd leave no stone unturned to have success at Middlesbrough. No,
you're absolutely right, and I think that's the bit that impresses me about him. I mean, you hit the nail on the head about the this being his complete profession, because as you talk to lads in the pub or whatever, you get to know what you do for work, how long you've been doing that for, and you have lads around his age, getting into, towards the 40s and saying, yeah, I've been doing that job for 15 years, I've been, that's what they're trained to do, whereas coaches usually don't really start until the 30s because they get out of playing, get into coaching badges, then get into coaching. Whereas he's just gone straight into coaching. He's learned the game from scratch. And he looks... I don't want to say that others don't look interested, but he looks really interested, intrigued by what he does, and he looks very proud about what he does as well. Very, very intricate, very, very detailed, and the way he speaks... I know people are going to say, well, Rob Edwards was like this as well. I don't think he was like the way Kim spoke. I mean, seeing the video of him walking out to the Riverside crowd, being introduced to the fans, and saying, just looking at the crowd and saying, wow, the atmosphere. He didn't have to say that. Joining in with a chant at the end, the Derby game. I mean, to be fair, half of that, I don't think he quite knew what to do. I think Adi Vivas just kind of pushed him and gone, unlucky, get in there, have fun with that. And he's just like, I'll just join in. It's fine. Because that's what he's used to in Sweden, isn't he? You see the videos of Hammarby fans of, they do all sorts of displays and things for him. So, but yeah, it's an exciting appointment because we don't know what to expect of him, I suppose. And it's the first time Gibbo has gone to a club and bought someone out of their contract because he's never done that before. So it must have been something for him to say, I'm taking this gamble to pay the 300,000 euros that Hammarby wanted. Because usually he waits until they're unemployed, I suppose, or just going
Well,
into the coaching game, and he waits and
I
says,
suppose
right,
yeah, I suppose you can say Wolves paid that for us.
well, yeah, they did, yeah. So yeah, cheers, Wolves. We'll review that purchase end of the season. Right, that's the prior done. Let's get into what we usually talk about. Derby game. So that was obviously the game on Saturday. Before I do talk about it, JD, it looked a very wet and miserable Riverside on Saturday. Perfect for Kim Hellberg, to be quite honest, for his first game. But you were out prior to that, back on the North Stand. The food bank was out. It sounded quite a successful day that you had.
Yeah. Well, I hope so. We haven't had any
Yeah.
figures from the food bank yet as to weight of food collected and monetary donations. But what an awful day weather-wise, and for every Borough fan who came and as the pastors made a donation, I've got to say a huge heartfelt thanks, because it must have been tempting for them just to run into the stadium to avoid the absolutely atrocious weather. I was drenched. I was absolutely soaked to the skin. I'd got the wrong footwear on. I didn't think the rain was going to be as heavy. So my boots got soaked through. My socks were soaked through. And you'll know yourself, once your feet are wet and cold, the rest of your body is the same. But it was a great turnout, and I thank everybody who made a donation. But once I got into the stadium out of the rain, I had a chance to dry out. My feet didn't until I got home, but I had a chance to dry out and take my place in the North Stand and got behind the team. We made an awful start. Alfie Jones got the wrong side of Aubameyang, is it? Is it?
Adjiman.
What's it? Is that Adjiman? Yes, sorry.
Yeah, Aubameyang scored it for Geordies midweek.
Yeah. I wasn't sure, but anyway, yeah. Alfie Jones got the wrong side of him, and it was a decent finish, to be fair. And we found ourselves sort of 1-0 down with 2 minutes gone, and the form that Derby are in, I mean, it was going to be a tough game from the start, from the first whistle. It was always going to be a tough game. John Eustace is quite a successful manager wherever he's been. He had a decent spell at Birmingham until the new owners replaced him with Rooney, who didn't do so well. And then he had a good spell at Blackburn, who he left to take over at Derby. We kept up, and this season he's improved them, and they were on a decent run, so it was always going to be tough. But after 2 minutes, 1-0 down, it made it really, really tough. But it didn't faze us. I don't know what input Kim Hellberg will have had on the players, whether or not he was able to have much of a say with regards to team pattern, or whether it was mainly Adi Vivesh and Kim just maybe said things inspirational. But we settled down, and we took hold of the game. The first 20 minutes, Derby had a few airy moments, that we had to survive. But we took hold of the game generally without creating too many clear-cut chances. The same again second half. We were in total domination of the game. But we've seen over the seasons, it's not just about possession stats or shots on goal or crosses into the box. It's about goals. And we had to wait a while for the equaliser, which was a great finish from the corner. We don't get many like that, but it was a great header from Matt Targett. And then we went on to win the game. And the atmosphere at the end, I think that was more relief than anything else. we'd seen and we'd heard Stoke dropping points. You know, we'd seen Ipswich lose the night before. So yeah, we knew that game was vital for us to stay in that in the chasing pack, so to speak. But that win moved us back up to second, and it was brilliant. Like you said, I was soaked through. I was freezing cold, but I didn't feel it at the end of the game because I was just so happy that we got the win.
And I swap places with you any day of the week. You know that. But I mean, you said there about knowing about what it's like when your feet get soaking. One of my feet does. My second one's got nerve damage at the moment, so I haven't got a bloody clue what's going on. So, but, no, you're absolutely right. It's but no, well done on what you did on Saturday. It was brilliant. Just to touch on what JD said there, Liam. Obviously, he's saying he doesn't know how much input Kim had, with the players, etc. I'm of the contrary. I'm a bit differing on that. I think his halftime team talk must have been abuse. It's basically, we went down 1-0, unlucky not to be level, because I thought that, I mean, I know he didn't cross the line, but I thought Britain's shot was in. As soon as he hit it, I went, God, that's in. But the second half, we came out, we were a completely different team. I don't really remember a moment where I thought Derby will get a second here, because we just looked on the front foot for the entire 45 minutes and we just looked dominant. And once we got that equaliser from the header from target, I didn't see another winner from the game.
Yeah. Going on about the input, I think he had a little bit of an input in the Coventry match. I think one of the things he likes to do is to play high up and win the ball back quickly. There was little signs of that in the Coventry game, and even more so in the Derby one. Obviously, he's come to this country. It's new to him. He's come with a great CV. It's great that he's got Adi still there helping him. I think that's a big thing for Steve Gibson. They did that review in the summer, didn't they? And they've been ticking boxes since the summer, basically. I think maybe the Derby thing, his style of football, what I believe it to be, that weather at the weekend probably wasn't suited for it. Probably not suited for a lot of styles of football.
Yeah.
And I think how he wants us to play, I think he was just maybe, as the game went on, turning the switch a little bit more, instead of going gung-ho how he wants it, building on it. And I think maybe a bit, like you say, team talk at half-time and maybe turning it up a notch, just testing the water a little bit. Let's do this a bit more. And it's a learning curve for him as well. So, yeah, I think there will have been a big team talk, but obviously he made some subs in the second half, the tactical changes and that, and it all worked out in the end. But, I mean, we had a lot of possession that game. We had a lot of the game. And like John said, Derby came to us. They won something like 6 out of 7 or 5 out of 6 or something. Yeah. They were on a really good run. But I thought we dominated the game, most of the game. Maybe it's a collection of things, collection of halftime thingy, his tactics, his subs. But yeah, it went well for him and us. So happy days.
It was brilliant. And they say, yeah. I just think the response in the second half, I thought the start didn't help us. Obviously, Jones getting caught out by Agyemang or Aubameyang, whichever you want to call him, didn't help. Because I thought, worst possible start. Your first game in a new job, 2 minutes in, and we're 1-0 down already. If people had doubts in the stands beforehand, if they had any, all of a sudden you sat there going, oh God, oh dear, 2 minutes in, we're already 1 down. But fair play to the players, they dug in. They say it was a tricky afternoon for anybody playing football in them conditions. Fair play to the fans. Fans never stopped backing them. I heard you boys in the North Stand giving them everything as well, which I miss so much. I miss the North Stand so much. I'll be back there at some point, don't worry. But yeah, it was a good afternoon's results. I know Millwall won in the end, but you say Stoke getting beat at lunchtime gave us a chance to go back seconds, and I felt we needed to, especially with how tight second down to, is it 15th or something? It's about 6 points, something like that. It is getting quite close. Coventry have just hop, skipped and buggered off. They're gone for now. But it was just, it shows we can do things the ugly way. You know, we don't have to be pretty, and maybe that's a good thing for Hellberg as well, because I know he likes to play expansive football, but if you can win ugly as well, we could be on to a winner. You know what I mean? So, yeah, really, really, really happy with them 3 points. But I've got a question for you, boys, because I don't know the answer to this one, which is quite rare. I know. Morgan Whittaker, obviously, was getting a bit of stick off the Derby fans. Do we know why?
He ran over
former
to him,
player, wasn't he? Didn't he have a spell there?
I don't know. It's something I've thought about, and I didn't think to look that bit up. Because obviously he scored the winner, didn't he?
Or was it? Yeah. Or was it something previous with Plymouth Argyle? I'm not entirely sure with him. Sorry.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, he did start at Derby. Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, 25 appearances, 1 goal. Something like his time.
So maybe I don't know. Maybe he's at previous clubs. He's been getting stick off the fans, so this was his opportunity to say, "Well, there you go. I've just won the game. See ya."
I was going to say, because he scored the winner, and he was straight over, pan to ear, giving it to them, and he said, in all the videos you see on social media and stuff from the Derby end, giving him absolutely everything when he came over and celebrated in front of him. And I was like, I don't get why they hate him so much. Well, obviously, now I see he was a player there for a couple of years. Maybe that's why. But yeah, I just want to touch on Morgan Whittaker, because he got a lot of stick while I was laid up. A lot of stick. Something which our previous manager mentioned, say he just needs an arm around his shoulder, things like that. But start with you, JT. He's kicked on a bit, hasn't he? All of a sudden, he's hit a bit of form. You know, he scored in his last 2 games. Scored at Oxford. Scored at obviously at the weekend. Scored the winner. He started to kick on a bit now, hasn't he?
Well, he's scoring goals. He's still for me, he's not the player he was at Plymouth. You know, he used to stand out against the opposition when he played for Plymouth, and he's not doing that for us. Yeah, he's contributing to goals and assists, but he's yet to hit a consistent level of good form. But if he can pop up and chip in with assists and goals, then fine. I'm more than happy. I don't like individuals getting targeted. I'm not saying that it's not because of the performances. I mean, I would never do it. What I'm saying is I would never do it, even if a player's going through a bad run of form. My thought always is to try and encourage to support him, like supporters are meant to do. But yeah, I mean, as for turning the corner, he's been involved in scoring some good goals and assisting also. But I wouldn't say as yet he's won me over.
No, I wouldn't say me either. What's your opinion on it, Liam?
Yeah, just basically what John said. I think you've seen more from him before he came to us, so you know he's got it. I don't think the back end of last season helped when Carrick was chopping and changing that front three. Do you know what I mean? He was moving him about. He had him in the 10, and another say he can play there. But I think he looks most comfortable on that right-hand side, and he seems happier. I think the goals are obviously helping his confidence. I think for all, we don't really like Edwards at the moment. I think what he did regarding Whittaker has helped massively with getting people behind him and stuff. And I think there is a lot more to come. He's frustrating for me, like, because you know he has got that in him. But like John said, he's still yet to win him over. I'm the same there, like, you know, see how it goes. But he's slowly getting there, and he is contributing. So you can't really knock him. He's slowly getting there, but you just want to see that little bit more from him because you know he's got it in him. But
yeah,
reports about the manager are saying that he's excellent at getting the best out of their players, you know, and it's obvious. You can see by his demeanour, Whittaker I'm talking about now, is that he needs to be loved. You know, he's not your aggressive player. I think he looks very private. He looks very at times very weak, very timid. And I'm hoping that Hellberg can develop him and bring him on and just get the best out of him, because he likes to play with wingers by all accounts. Reports and videos I've watched about Hellberg when he was at Hammarby. So I'm hoping, you know, that he can get the best out of him and improve him.
Yeah, completely. It's I mean, this could be disrespectful to Plymouth. This, you know, when you see players in the upper parts of football going to bigger clubs, and you know, in the previous club they were a big fish in a little pond, and now they're a little fish in a bigger pond. Do you think that's a bit like Whittaker? Do you think he was just a shining star amongst what Plymouth had, and now he's joined a club with a bit more about them, a few more players that have got a bit more quality? He's having to not step back from what he thinks he is or what he thinks, you know, he was. Is it a case of he's having to fit in a little bit more and show that actually I am worth this kind of money? He's having to prove it a little bit more.
There might be a bit of that in there. He's moved from the bottom end of the country to come up here. Like I say, he was getting chopped and changed all around, you know. And if his performances, if he knows he's not performing and then that's playing him and he's frustrated, he's maybe not playing in his preferred spot, and he, you know, it's a mental thing as well, isn't it? And then the new managers come in and started him, and he's slowly been, you know, the boo boys are on his back a little bit.
Yeah.
I think it takes some people can settle straight away, some people can't. I think there could be a little bit of that. He probably stood out when he was at Plymouth, you know, being one of the better players. Coming to Middlesbrough, he's not as special, if you can say that. Yeah. But I think we have seen some really good qualities from him at Plymouth beforehand, and we haven't yet seen them here. So we know he's got them in there. So once he starts doing what he's done at previous club, then maybe we can say whether he's a big fish in our pond. Do you know what I mean? Or if he's just the same as everyone else. We'll have to see on that.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. John?
I mean, we signed him in January. Was it last January window?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I see a few people mentioning his price tag. I mean, that's not the player's fault. It's what the club's agreed. We wanted him. We had to pay that price to get him up here. And yes, it hasn't worked on a consistent level for him at the moment. But like Liam said, under Carrick, he never had a settled position. And he was in and out, here and there, different positions, different sides of the pitch. So all that, plus uprooting and coming up to the northeast, players do take a while to settle. Some don't settle at all. You know, we just have to hope that the manager that we've got now, the coach that we've got now, I'll bring the best out of Morgan Whittaker that he was able to show at Plymouth. If we get anything like that player, then we'll do well, because you know it was the same championship teams that he was playing against for Plymouth, and he was tearing some of them apart. Even Premier League teams, when he played them in the FA Cup, you know, he looked a good player then. So if we can get him back to that form, then we've got a good player.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, one of his last goals for Plymouth was at Brentford, wasn't it? So
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
It shows. He has got the quality. He's a player I beg for. I beg for on our podcast as well. So I was absolutely screaming for us to sign him, and thank God we did. So
It's
he'll
your
get there.
fault.
It's not my fault. I've paid my dues. But yeah, just before we sign off on the Derby game, man of the match. Start with you, John.
Right. Good one. I know Bangura got it, and he was impressive, but I'm going to go Alfie Jones. I know he was turned inside out in the first 2 minutes, but after that, I thought he looked quite solid. And again, we have to remember that we've had a lot of injuries across our back line, and I can't remember two or three games where we've had a settled lineup. So it's difficult, and obviously Jones was suspended as well. But yeah, I'll choose Alfie Jones for that.
Okay, Liam.
No one in particular, but I did think, like John said there about the injuries. I thought the back line, the first goal and everything, but I thought the back line, like that makeshift defence, I thought they played really well. I thought Bangura did look quite good. Like I quite enjoyed him on Saturday, considering it. He hasn't played for so long. I can see why they give it to Bangura, but he did have a good game. I just thought the back line in general, I thought they were pretty solid, and I thought they were probably the best players. There wasn't really one player who stood out for me, to be honest, in that game. There wasn't anyone who I don't know, took it by the scruff of the neck and stood out for me. It was a decent performance in that terrible conditions, but I'd give it any of the back four really.
Okay, no problem. Mine was Hackney. I'll give it Hackney. I thought he played really well Saturday. Settled both goals as well, as someone's kindly pointed out in the comments. So, but he did. So, but I thought and he was captain as well. I thought he did a good captain's performance on Saturday. He was quite level-headed at the time. So, Hackney was my man of the match. So, right, Friday we have Hull away. A game I was hoping to get to. It's actually my birthday on Friday, so I'm a bit gutted I'm missing that. But never mind. Yes, Hull. They're doing well. Obviously, you got the late winner against Stoke at the weekend. They say it's a win at the. I was going to call it the Britannia, but it's not the Britannia anymore, is it? It's about 365 now. That's a good result for them to have. They're going along nicely. Hull. I'll start with you, JD. What kind of test are you expecting from Hull on Friday night?
A very difficult one. It's a place where we've done well in the last sort of few years, and I don't know whether we'll see Johnny Howson turn up again this year, but it would be nice to see him in the crowd. It'll be tough, it'll be a tough game. And like I say, they're thereabouts in the top six. So we've got to hope that we'll get a couple of players back fit. I'd like to see Dale Fry. I think we miss him immensely. I'd like to see Dale Fry back in. Luke Ayling, so maybe we can play with a back three, and push Bangura and Britain further forward. It'll be very tough. It'll be a very tough game because like you said, Hull have had some great results, and that win against Stoke was great for us, but also great for their sort of like playoff or promotion hopes.
Exactly. I mean, because that's something that they're aiming for. They've been quite vocal about that. I say I know they've won 3 out of the last 6. But going to Stoke is, like I say, it's a massive win to get that. It's a tricky place to go. They've started the season really well as well, Stoke. So before I ask Liam's opinion, we've been joined by a fourth. Even Dally.
Just started nicking at the back post like Alex Gilbert of Hull last season. I just thought I'd just sneak in the box and claim the glory on the at the end. All right, boys.
All right.
Yeah, all good.
Good. I would just get your quick opinion on how you think the season's gone. I got the lads' opinion earlier. Obviously, we had to do a little bit of a recap because I went AWOL. How have you found this season?
Been all right, hasn't it? Bit of a roller coaster, emotionally. No, it's been good. A lot better than we thought, and then yeah, the manager decided to become a bit of a rat, and now we've had that drama. We've had, since he's left, we've had obviously Eddie coming in, and we've had a win there. Kim's come in, we've got a win. We're still, the results have gone our way again. Still in the top two, and I don't think we'll need hotels in May, lads. I think we'll be all right. I think we'll be up.
So there's a bold statement. Straight in with that statement.
Got to get excited, haven't you?
From the man who in about 4 minutes' time is about to produce a 1-1 prediction for Friday night. That is a very poor prediction. No,
yeah. We're going to storm the league. It'll be 1-1.
Storm the league. 1-1, aren't they? No, I'll get your thoughts on Hull in a minute, Dally. Liam, your thoughts on Friday? What are you expecting from City?
I'm expecting a tough game. I think they obviously had that transfer embargo, but they've made some really shrewd signings. I think he's got a good little squad there. He's got Giles firing, Crooksy's still there. That McBurney, he's one of them horrible players that you don't like play against. I actually think it's going to be quite an open game. I have a feeling there's going to be a few goals this weekend. I think it's going to be backwards and forwards. It's going to be one of them, and it's whoever's bravest will take it in the end. But I think it could be a good match as long as there's no rain. If the rain stays away and they're able to play the football, I think it's going to be a cracking match. I think there'll be a few goals in this game on Friday.
Yeah,
1-1.
No, you're absolutely right. It's true what you said about McBurney as well. Every time I hear his name, Ollie McBurney, I just think of that video from a few years ago when we went to Sheffield United and the Borough fans were giving him a stick because he just had his house robbed, hadn't he, of all his Rolexes and stuff. And then literally, as the video was finishing, Billy Sharp makes it 4-1. And you're like, oh, God. No. And he loved every second of it. And I thought, you absolute bit of housery, I was saying. But yeah, he's one of them horrible strikers that just gets in your face. And hopefully Dale Fry is back because he's the type of defender who can deal with that sort of, player that's quite physical, quite direct. Dally, what's your thoughts on Friday?
Yeah, I think it'll be a hard game. they've got some good players there. To be fair, who are all working, who it's clicking. But they're a team that come up with late goals as well. So we've got to be alert all the way through. I think it'll be 1-1. No, I'd be happy with the draw. I'll be honest with you. I think they've pinched a lot of points off teams, and it'll be a tough place to go. Obviously, Crooks, and nice to see him still back in this country, I suppose, playing. He is one of those where I do wish we still had him because he's still got a goal in him. Definitely would have been useful to come off the bench. And then Ryan Giles finally seems to have settled in Hull. He had the fans against him at one point, didn't look like it would go in his way. And then, like you say, Ollie McBurney, I do remember that, what you've just mentioned there, Steve. That were a tough night that night.
Yeah, it was a really tough night. So we'll get into the predictions then. So are you really going 1-1?
Yeah, why not? Why not?
What's your goal scorer?
1 each, and I'll go McGree.
Okay. Liam, come to you.
I'm going to go 3-2, Borough.
Okay.
First goal, I reckon Tommy Conway.
You think
if he starts, Conway or Sprelic, whoever starts. If he starts in both, I'll go Conway.
Okay. JJ, come to you.
Yeah, 2-1 Borough. Goal scorer, Aidan Hackney.
Fair play. I'll go 2-0 Borough. I'll go Matt Target. I think Matt Target then has a goal. He seems to be popping up with a couple of goals.
Wasn't it Matt Target? Who was it something to do with when his son was born? He was going to do a celebration or something when he scored after and it took about 7 years or something.
Yes,
his son's in university.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sounds like
Son's
Dan
going
Gibb.
to GCSEs now. But so there you go. That's our predictions for Hull, and that is our first podcast done. First one in 4 months. Yeah, glad to be back. So good to be back.
You've milked that a bit, Steve, haven't you? Jesus, you only went away for a week.
I said that when I came back in the house yesterday. I was like, I closed that door on the 11th of August.
All that for an ingrown toenail.
Yeah.
I stayed at my feet for weeks. It didn't grow. That's how bored I was. But no, yeah, it's so good to be back. JD, thank you so much for popping on. Liam, thank you so much for popping on.
Yeah.
Dally, thanks for your splash and dash. Have a good trip on Friday.
Where can people hear this podcast again, Steve?
They can hear it on the Fan Network as part of TalkSport. They can hear it on Amazon, Deezer, watch it back again on Facebook, on YouTube, and all the popular places that you get your podcast from, really. So yeah, have a good listen to us. Get familiar with us again. We'll be back next Monday. Usual time, usual place. We're back up and running now. So yeah, be seeing you up the borough. Take care.
Cheers.
Yeah.